Good morning, Service Alliance community. How y'all doing today? We know how Brother Doug's doing. Right,
My,
right,
my
right, riding the struggle bus a little.
yes, I am. I think my arm is going to fall off if I keep holding my phone like this.
Having
Good morning,
computer
Zach.
problems and-
It's a Monday, and this is how Monday should go, so that Fridays are even extra special, right?
yeah. I feel like every day goes that way for me, but
It's been a rough couple weeks for me, but it's the gratitude journal. Remember the gratitude journal? I don't
Mhm.
always do it, and you should never have a gratitude journal for emergency break glass. Start doing it now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just always better to build up your tank of gratitude for those
100%.
times. Because my problems are really truly minor, but
Oh yeah.
big catastrophes come our way, don't they? And we've got to be right with God and be prepared to ride it out, right?
Yep. At any moment. Um, yeah, yeah. It feels like that sometimes, Dr. Dan. We've had never-ending malignant Mondays. Been there. Morning, Mike. Well, we're glad to have you guys with us. Theme for the week is side hustle to full-time, and Doug and I are kind of taking it from a mastery, a mindset perspective. I know you guys are shocked to hear that we're going from a mindset side of things, but you know, um, so focusing on your strengths first, right? The power of mastery before growth. What does that look like for an appliance service business owner or someone new into the appliance business? How do we master our business before we move on to the next shiny thing, whatever that is?
Or how do you transition into new things?
Yeah, absolutely.
I get it. Maybe I'm just jealous. I never had a side hustle, right? We know EJ, and EJ had a side hustle, and thanks to that side hustle, I'm great friends with him, and
Yep.
he has helped my business tremendously. And it's all because he started tinkering with appliances in his garage, right? Picking them up on the side of the road. So there is definitely some happy endings there.
Yeah, I mean, and I added I took a hobby and added it to my business and then created a business out of it, and the business is more of a side hustle, and then it became more of a hobby again.
Right.
So, I've kind of transitioned all the way through with that. I still have the gift, and I'm able to use my gift to help other people on occasion, but I wouldn't truly consider it a business or even a side hustle at this point. It's on occasion I might make something to do what I love doing, but my focus is not on that business, because when you split focus, things get messy. It really does. And we're gonna talk our way through that today. So I lost your volume, Doug.
It's not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, so I might contradict myself here today. So we're going to brainstorm this out together, Zach.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
All right, let me open us in our Monday morning prayer.
Sounds good.
Lord God, we wake up today. Help us set our heart right with you and give us a heart of gratitude for all that you've given us. And as we pray this prayer over our community, it's easy to recognize that everyone has different levels of wealth and um, good things and bad things, and we're all in different places. But I think of the woman who gave up her last few cents for the Lord, trusting in with all her heart that He will provide everything that she needs. God, that's the heart mentality that we need in our lives today, in order that you can use what our gifts that you've given us, use the results of it to bless the world, to bless our families, and be the light. And so, God, help us stay humble and filled with gratitude. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. That verse is a great place to start, right? The widow who
Yes.
gave up her last coins to Jesus because she believed. And it's just such a great metaphor for what mastery is
Mhm.
as well, right? And so um when we put all the noise aside, when we put all the chaos aside, and we give everything to being excellent, um it's worth it. It's worth it all the time. And a lot of great things can really blossom out of there. So going all in, got to go all
That's it.
in on what you're doing. So there's a couple different perspectives. We know that in the community, there's a lot of guys that might be in another business and they're doing appliance repair on the side. We know there's a lot of established businesses that might be thinking, hey, I need to add sales, or I need to add an HVAC business, or I need to add a plumbing business, or da 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 da. So I want to start with asking a question. Have you mastered running an appliance business yet? Have you figured out how to use SOPs, how to lead your team, how to communicate with your team, with your customers, right? Have you figured these things out? Have you mastered these skills? And if the answer is no, don't even think about that other business yet. It is gonna sidetrack you so bad.
What are you going to do if you strike a vein of side hustle and you can't even run your other business properly? It's just a very big lost opportunity, right? And by the
Yeah,
way, those side hustle people, they make us look so good. They really do. They're the people who are stretched too thin and don't know exactly what they're doing quite yet. And those are the people that call us and say, "Please help us. Can you come out? Someone started this thing, and he won't come back." So the reality is most companies, we don't want to clean up someone else's work, but that's part of our core values, is to be there and help people make their day better. So these side hustle people, they're beautiful. I mean, my tech might not like them in the moment, but you have to be a serious contender, I believe. So what does side hustle mean? If
yeah.
you're a serious contender as a side hustler, can you do that?
I mean, you can. So, the owner of Gordon's originally, firefighter, and every firefighter has a side hustle because they only work
There you go.
3 days a week, right?
Yeah.
And so they all do something on these off days. And so he did appliance repair as his side hustle. Um, but he also had his wife answering the phone, and he also found an employee. So when he wasn't there,
Yeah.
someone else working. And over time, as he phased out of the fire
Sure.
department, he began to grow the business and master being, um, appliance business owner, though he never truly mastered the business side of things.
I mean,
And
when
so,
when you when you took it over, was it in great shape? Was it set up and prepared to scale?
no, there was no process. There was no structure for leadership. He was an amazing leader in and of himself. But as far as like the team, right? There was no there
Yeah.
was no leadership structure there. Everything went to him. It all fell on him. And that causes a lot of problems. And so when we're talking about mastery, right? You heard Doug and I, if you follow along at any length, we talked about EOS recently, right? And we talked about, if you are wearing all the hats in the business, it is time to begin,
Mhm.
as you look to grow, to add different people to pick up these hats. Um, love Doug, right? Love you, man. But you're not a visionary necessarily, right? By your own admission, it's not like your strong suit.
Right.
Jay, very much a visionary, amazing visionary. Love hearing his ideas, right?
Yep.
Um, but I also wouldn't trust Jay to be an integrator, right? You are very much
Mhm.
methodical and planned out and integrating. And so as we move into mastery, part of that is going to be establishing a team and making sure that
Mhm.
team has all the tools that they need to succeed.
Right. Yeah. So the question is do you have the time for a side hustle? And
Mm,
what's your motivation for your side hustle?
mhm,
If your side hustle is to try to understand and develop a new home service industry or something else that can, like Gordon's, run, I think that's a great um, uh, avenue to take. But you have to understand that it's good. You're pretty much going to be running hard, I think,
mhm.
because if you stop learning in your main business, your business will start to die. If you stop investing in it, it will start to wither away slowly, which is a slow death.
Yep.
But if you and there's so many hungry, passionate people out there that thirst for knowledge,
Mhm.
man, oh man, go for it, go for it. But just like you said earlier, make sure you've got your structure in place, your business model in place, so that nothing is neglected. And then yeah, go for it and geek out and become an expert in another industry. I almost consider it a hobby because hobbies are things that we do when we have the time. You
Mhm.
know, like some people like to hunt, and if they prioritize hunting and they're not doing well in their job or their financial market, one day you're not going to be able to afford it. You know, but it's a you know, yin and a yang situation. But I do think you just have to know what you're trying to do with this hobby and explore it, and then take the leap. For sure, take the leap.
Yeah, I mean, so right into that. I mean, part of mastery is education. And so if you're currently in the appliance service industry, learn everything you can, as far as, and that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, be the best technician, right? You have to learn a lot about what it means to be a technician. Doug understands that. Would Doug qualify himself as the best technician in the world? Absolutely not. But did Doug have the experience as a technician? Yes. Did Doug have the experience as a service manager? Yes. Right. And so Doug has learned these mastery pieces as he's gone along. And that really is key to mastery, is educating yourself. So if you're the owner of a business,
Mhm.
right, and you're thinking about starting another business, you get yourself educated. Learn. I've been working on leadership for 15 years, and I'm just now starting to like wrap my head around what it really means to be a leader and how to lead well and how to lead effectively, right?
Mhm.
And so I feel like leadership takes a very long time to master. Um, and if you're leading a company, if you're the owner of a company and you're not leading well, right? Because I've been that guy. I've been the guy that didn't lead well. I've made a lot of mistakes and led very poorly over time. And so man, go learn how to go read a John Maxwell book a couple times if you need to. Go read all of his books, right? Like, learn how to be a leader.
Mhm.
Learn how to um Doug, you're not a master at it, but you understand enough of the financials to understand what things you need to do and how to talk with the accountant, the CPA, right? That you have to be able to educate yourself and grow within these topics enough to be proficient in them. And so if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, you're talking about mastery and you're telling me I just need like pieces of this. Yes. As a business owner, mastery includes a lot of skills and knowing enough to be educated and talk to your team or talk to professionals at a level of understanding that they can do their job. So mastery as a business owner, we got to know a lot of things, but we only need to know enough to have that conversation. What we do need to master is leadership. What we do need to master is whichever piece it is, right? If we own the business and we're the visionary, we need to master being a visionary. If we own a business and we're an integrator, we need to master setting up and scaling the team and putting people in place and making sure we do have someone who can help us with ideas and be that visionary person within the company. That's really what it is to be an owner, to master being an owner of a business, I think.
No, I think you're on track. I mean, I'm starting to understand. Like you said, I don't want to be an expert in every area, but I need to know enough. And the thing I need to be the greatest at is finding great people and making sure that process is created and followed. And once that's in place, then that's great. I just went to a conference a few weeks ago, and they said, wherever you're stupid, go find someone that's smarter than you and hire. So that came from some window cleaning guy, but nothing eloquent there. But isn't there truth in that?
Yeah,
and again, just bring someone in who's smarter than you in some area of your business. And once your business is going, where you have right people, right seats, maintaining and dealing with issues and knowing what again, as business owner, your job is to create a vision, a direction, and some goals. And then you keep the team going and motivated and you achieve those goals. Guess what? That's not a 50, 60, 70-hour work week. Not if you bring the right people in to help you with it. And then there's opportunity for you, I think, at that point when you have right people, right seats, that you can sit there and go, because think about it. I mean, let's say, how many customers do you think Gordon's had in their customer database? 5,000, 2,000?
We're probably pushing, at least in ones that we tracked, we were once we actually got into a CRM, because that didn't exist before me, we had like 6,000 in that database. Database. Yeah. And
so what's 20% of 6,000? 120 people?
Yeah.
Right? 120. So what's
something like that?
Yeah. So what's is it 1,200?
Math is not a skill I have
6,000, 10% is 600. So 1,200 customers times $300. I mean, we're talking like $5,000-$10,000, something like that, in revenue generated, exploring something that your customers already love you for. So if whatever that is, this conference I went to, window cleaning, gutter cleaning, power washing, there's just so many things that we can do. So I am a big fan of expansion. But I think it needs to be built right into the model of your business. Do not pick up a part-time job as a business owner and start to rob from your plan, your master plan on your business. But go ahead, jump in, try something, but it's got to be carefully calculated.
Yeah, I mean, so along that topic, so there's two views here, right? So we have the 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 guys that, you know, you're just barely getting started within a business, and you're thinking, "Hey, I'm gonna add this service, I'm gonna add this service, I'm gonna add this service." If your business cannot run without you on a day to day, right? Do not add another service to it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Maybe
Without a plan, without knowing how much it costs,
yeah,
you can't just go and try it. You're going to put your own business at risk. You have to know your numbers, and you have to have a plan behind it. You have to know what your plan B is. You have to know when you're going to pull the ripcord if it's not working. You have to know those numbers in order for you to step out. There was a vendor recently that went all in another industry, and new CEO came in, looked at the numbers, and went, it's not working. Now, the other CEO, he was all in. It was passionate. It was probably personal. I don't know this guy, but all I'm saying is a huge corporation pulled the plug after spending exorbitant amount of money, millions and millions of dollars, and
yeah,
just saw the writing on the walls. You have to be able to pull out. You have to be able to step away. It can't be personal, you know?
yep.
And
Yeah,
it
so
happens at the highest of levels all the way down. You see it in the stock market, and you see it right here in the local pizzeria that expands into a bakery, and then all of a sudden the newspapers up on the windows and they're gone.
so Gordon's, right? I run an appliance business. Hey, it makes sense to go and do restaurant refrigeration and stuff like that. You know who that fell on?
Yeah, right.
Because my business wasn't running without every time there was a restaurant call, I was the guy that had to go.
Yep.
And then when my guys were in trouble, I was so tied up with working on the systems that I couldn't answer them half the
Right.
time. And that experiment failed horrendously. And so that's what I'm talking about. If you have this small team, but you don't have leadership in place to be able to handle when you are unavailable, right? Because maybe as you grow, you are the guy that has to go out and attempt this new thing, but you have
Right.
to have a team in place that can be able to handle that, or you have to be able to hire
Right.
someone that is a master in that particular area, right? And
Right.
so
Right.
it that experiment in commercial refrigeration failed miserably for me. Then going in the sales, it was same thing. I'm the guy having to do the delivery, and it failed miserably because
Mhm.
the team could not run without me, and that was on me as a leader. I did not create the structure, the process, the systems to run a sustainable business. And that is the thing that most small companies fail at. Now, if Doug wanted to go and run commercial refrigeration, there is enough of a team there that Doug could find someone to run commercial refrigeration side and be able to build out and go and meet with restaurant owners and hospitals and stuff like that, and begin to develop that part of Action Appliance, because Doug doesn't have to answer all the questions. So he could go focus on marketing that part of the business and meeting people and doing stuff like that. Or Jay, right? Jay could go out and do stuff like that because the load is split among a team. It's not all on one
Right.
person. And so that's what we mean by mastery. You have to have all of that stuff in place. You have to have the system, the team, all that in place before you decide to jump off the cliff into something
Yeah.
else.
You kind of, I mean, you'll go crazy if you don't assume that it's going to be successful. Your side hustle that you're bringing into the business. What are you going to do if it is great and the people are knocking down your doors? Are you going to have the time to run an ad and hire 5, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people until you find 2 people and 3 people? And then you got to train the new people. And so it's all a real thing. I mean, listen, just mastering it doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult. But
Oh,
doing
for
it
sure.
without a plan is crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. And so I don't know if it's a blessing or not to stumble upon an incredible idea and know zero about it, and then try to roll it out while you're running your own business. Sounds scary. So for me, commercial is the way to go, I think, for our industry in the next 10, within the next 10 years to have that as, a companion piece. We're not planning to move into that direction by trial and error and learning as we go. No. So I've got an ad running. And if it
Right.
takes 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 1 year, I need to find someone that I've interviewed and tested, personality testing. They need to have the skills to lead the division, to be the person thinking, and representing us in that area. I don't want to become an expert in commercial appliance repair, but I do want to be the person overseeing setting profit margins and expenses and setting up training and expecting losses, and what, how much cash flow do we need to get through that period of time, and what's the cutoff point. So that's where I'm going to stay. But I don't know that I could. It would take me forever to put the hat on, to go out there and be the tech, to figure out what does a commercial appliance sound like and look like. What do they ask? How demanding are they? How different is it? How similar is it? I don't have the bandwidth or the time to do that. So for Action Appliance, we're looking for that commercial person, and
Yep.
I'm looking for someone who can grow a team for me, and then together we can do this. And so, but that's our approach. If you've got two techs running and you're doing really well and you're off the road, you can either invest your time and your talent into building up infrastructure in your business, or you could go and try this thing out, tackle it, go for it. But to your examples, right, Zach, your people needed you, but you were unavailable because you were, in some commercial kitchen working on a walk-in or something like that, right? So
Yep. Yep.
be
Deep fryer,
strategic.
whatever.
Be strategic. Don't just dive into something.
Yeah, 100%. It has to be, and here's the mindset part, right? You have to be focused, you have to be strategic, you have to be planned out when you are jumping into these ventures. And this piggybacks right off of expansion. Um and to go back to the guys that are doing this as a true side hustle, they're in another industry employed by someone, whatever. Um, you're going to have to focus on the education piece, learning how these
Yeah.
appliances work, understanding how they work. It's not just, I, you know, there are some training companies that will, out there that are like, hey, yeah, just go ahead and use warranty work as a learning point. And I personally disagree with that methodology. It is a workable methodology. For me, I don't like it. Um, go get some actual training. Go to MSA when Rick is teaching in person. Go to the manufacturer trainings that they offer to non-authorized servicers and learn there. Go to, PSA is coming up next week. Go to PSA, get your techs trained there, get yourself trained there. Go to United
Mhm.
Servicers, get yourself trained there. Um, there's all these places to get actual in-person training. There's a couple schools out there. I know people have their feelings one way or the other on the schools, but go master how to repair these appliances, right? If you're going to start the business, because you have to at least have an understanding. If Doug didn't understand how a washer works, how a refrigerator works, how an oven works, how all this stuff works, he couldn't understand if the people that he's hiring are going to be a good fit or not, because that is one piece of what Doug is hiring for over at Action Appliance. And so Doug doing the work for years and understanding the ins and outs and the loneliness in the truck and the frustration in the truck and getting an extra call added to you on a Friday night when you're like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
man, I'm going home.
That
No, I'm
you're
not
right.
going home.
No, you're right, Zach. There is there is that added benefit of being able to relate to an employee because you've been in those shoes. But I got to tell you something, man. I can count at least just off the top of my head 5 people who never did appliance repair and have bought appliance repair businesses, and they're doing really well because
Buying a
they're
business and starting the business from
sure.
scratch,
Yeah.
I see them as 2 very different things. Now,
Sure.
if you wanna go and buy an appliance business and you have an understanding of business, rock out with your bad self.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
speaking to those people. I'm speaking to the guys that are, doing appliance repair as a side hustle. They wanna
Yeah.
start a business. That's the approach that I'm taking.
Mm,
Absolutely. There's plenty of guys out there who don't know squat about appliances, but they
sure.
know how to run a good business, and they've built successful appliance repair businesses.
Yeah.
They're a different animal. That's one thing. But if you're jumping into this and you're starting a brand new business and not purchasing one, you have to have this intimate understanding,
Yeah.
um,
I get you because
if you build it.
it's interesting when we meet and talk every Monday. You sometimes try to imagine who the audience might be, right?
Yeah.
And you're totally right. I think a lot of people who might be listening to us might be people that work for someone else and want to start their own. They do appliance repair, but they want to start their own business themselves. So they're trying to rub shoulders with people who've done it before. Um,
In I mean, in that case,
and try to get the learning curve under control faster. But then you have people that are coming in from a different industry, HVAC into play, right? I get all that. I see that there's a lot. There's a different. There could be a whole bunch of different audiences here. Through the Service Alliance, and yeah. So that's anyway. I'm not sure what that means. It's interesting that we could be speaking to people in different situations. Um,
yeah.
and I guess it just goes back to why are you doing it? Just don't do it because you see $5 on the ground. Don't do it because you think it can be done. And I'll just do my best. I'll work really hard and see what comes out of it. If anybody's going to try to run their own business, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to start listening to podcasts and reading books and learn how to be a leader before you learn before you start hiring people
Yeah,
because you're
I
going to
think
lose somebody, you're going to torture somebody, you're going to have a long time loyal employee that will be able to say, I've been through the trenches with this person. They were terrible. I just stuck with them and I'm glad I'm still here. I mean, that's a great story, but I got to be honest with you. A lot of people just leave and move on. So if you're going to do any side hustle that turns into a business, learn how to lead people and run a business and don't overthink it. Do not overthink it. I mean, it's amazing how much information about profit loss and financial statements. I felt like the gap was huge to the point that I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. To find out that just a little bit of information gave me the confidence, the understanding, and the know how. And I will continue to learn and grow it. But the leap wasn't that big. So just keep that in mind. Start right now. Before you start dreaming about the storefront, start dreaming about how do you take care of an employee and how do you take care of your business and your financial statements.
yeah,
Sorry.
I honestly I
Yeah.
think, no, it's a great point, and it kinda furthers the one that I was bringing up earlier. I think understanding how to run a business, understanding how to read a profit and loss and talk to the accountant and, know that you should hire an accountant, right? That was one of the first pieces of advice that I was given by the former owners of Gordon's is like, you gotta spend money to make money, and one of the best ways to do that is hire an accountant, hire a CPA, make sure
Yep.
someone is monitoring those finances, and you have enough knowledge to understand what they're talking about, right? You don't have to be a master of the finances, but you have to understand the
Right.
interaction and how to manage them. I think the hardest part of being a business owner and the thing start right now. Wherever you are, start right now. Learn how to be a leader. Learn how to master your mindset. And that's why Doug and I spend so much time on it, because as leaders in different businesses, we have figured out that the mindset and the leadership, like if you don't have those things, the frickin' train comes off the rails. You have to master that. So wherever you are, whether you're in a side hustle or you're thinking about adding stuff to your business, the question you have to ask yourself is, have I mastered leadership, or have it to a mastery level that I can lead a healthy team?
Mhm.
Right. I
The
think
gap,
that is the
the
most
gap,
important mastery skill.
the gap's not that big, Zach. And one thing that helps fill in that gap is if you're doing it alone, that's a problem. So you need a mastermind group. You need a peer group. You need to be able to bounce ideas off of other people. You need to be allowed, you need to allow yourself to be held accountable. If you find yourself right now saying no to everything, making excuses for stuff when someone suggests something for your business, even if you know it's a bad idea, if your instinct is for your mouth to move and for you to say, nope, that won't work, you're in the wrong headspace right now. Let you know, in
100%.
my mastermind group, I mean, I don't have anyone that's similar in size and scope of what I'm dealing with, but these are the most important people in my life and when it comes to my business. And now they're incredible friends as well. And they can give me perspective. They give me answers. They give me hope. And so doing it alone is just not going to work out. So find yourself a mastermind group, find yourself a peer group. Doesn't even have to be in the industry, by the way. It can be other business people as well. And be open. Be open to hearing things that blow your mind and try to figure out how it can work in your business.
So I want to leave you guys with, as we wrap up, I want to leave you guys with a quote from Dean Landers, and I've kind of modified it my own way, but the point remains. It is your fault until it's not. Right? As a leader of a business, it is your fault until it's not. So if you have the mindset of, well, this tech did that and it's their fault and da da da, did you train them? Did you give them the tools? Do you have the process in place? Are all the things there for them to be successful? Have you had conversations with them about getting better? If the answer to any one of those is no, it's still your fault. That was the biggest, hardest lesson that I had to learn running a company. And it is the most valuable lesson you can learn when you're
and
running a
Zach,
company.
if the answers are all yes and they still work for you, it's still your fault.
It's
They
still
don't
your
belong
fault
there.
because they
They
should
don't
be gone.
belong there. That's right. But I mean, I'll tell you something. It doesn't hurt as bad. It's not as personal. And as a leader, you should carry the burden of, did I set these people up for success or not? And of course, just like when I became a technician for the first 2 to 5 years, there were customers that did not get great service from me. But I learned at their expense, and many years later, 20, 30 years later, even today, they're still customers of ours. We survived together, the customer and I. Same thing goes with the employees and the employer. And so yeah, man, if you have employees that yes to all that, and you're honestly confidently saying, I've done those things that Zach said: structure, process, procedure, accountability, training, and they just aren't making it, it's time to release them back to the wild so that you're doing them a justice as well as yourself.
100%. So if you want to get better at what you're doing, right? ServiceAllianceGroup.com, join our monthly masterminds. And this mastermind, super special one, you're going to have all of us. You're going to have Zach. You're going to have Mike. And you're going to have TK. Mike is leading this one. But we will all be together in Vegas. We'll be in the, we have our owners meeting our yearly owners meeting for Service Alliance Group. And we will all be together doing this mastermind. It's a great time to come together with other business owners from all across the country, have a conversation, learn something, and we even learn stuff from you guys as we have these conversations. So if you're not a member, servicealliancegroup.com, join the all access and join us on these monthly masterminds. They are an awesome resource for you to help grow your business, create a healthy business, and create a place where people really want to work. And then, as I said, we are all going to be together in Vegas. There is still time to register. ApplianceRepairConference.com. Get your discount code from Service Alliance Group. Go check it out. The schedule is actually posted on there. The keynote is posted on there. Tom Howard, good friend of mine, amazing man. Took some failing businesses and, man, they're in multiple locations now and thriving. It's pretty amazing. So ApplianceRepairConference.com. Go get yourself registered and join a bunch of other business owners and technicians from all over the country, elevating and mastering their skill set. So
do you and TK like get your beard treated for when you guys are going to go somewhere where there's a crowd and they're going to be looking for you? Do you guys spruce it up and make it fresh?
No, normal.
Who,
It's an everyday thing.
Who are those guys on the TV? Who are those guys on the TV show? Was it the guys from down south? You know what I'm talking about?
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty guy. Yeah, listen, they had regular spa treatments on their beards and stuff. Zach, you and TK might be getting to this time and space where you have to put that in your budget. You can't show up with a disgusting beard, my friend.
Phil Robertson, rest his soul, he was a pretty amazing man, pretty amazing leader, amazing father, amazing husband, Christian. And he's a really neat guy. I actually have some friends that grew up with Phil. And, you only saw a piece of him on TV, but you want to talk about a man after God's heart who led his wife, led his family, and led his business with just like the utmost joy and amazing leadership. Yeah, that he's definitely someone to admire, to look up to as an example of what great what great leadership is. Oh, Saul.
All right. Well, you enjoy it at PSA, my friend.
Yes, sir. Not sure how the grind is going to go next week because, be 5 o'clock in the morning out there in Vegas. We might be, we might be a little bleary eyed running these podcasts. So, but yeah, we'll stay tuned. We'll have some stuff from the conference as it happens.
All right.
Have a great week,
everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.